Our next guests are friends, too, real-life ones since they were children, and now they're co-stars in a new series about boxing. La Máquina premieres next Wednesday on Hulu. Please welcome Gael García Bernal and Diego Luna. I'm excited to have you guys here together because rarely do we have people on the show who've known each other since... How long have you guys known each other?
Oof, like 15 years, no? Since we were born, basically.
Since you were born?
Yeah.
Your families were friends?
Well, no, I came a year later, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
He came here to check it out,
make sure
ready for me to come. He was waiting at the hospital. He wanted to receive me, everything. Right?
He didn't let me.
No.
Back in those days, he was very dumb.
Yeah, they were very tight back then. You know, they didn't let one-year-olds deliver babies. And what's the earliest memory, though, you have of being together?
It's strange because it's a kind of constructed memory, no?
It's definitely
Our
one.
parents used to tell that we went to the hospital, you know, to receive Diego, who was a very beautiful baby. And
Believe it or not.
And when we talk about this, like the memories start to fall in, you know, and I start to remember reaching out and with my finger going into his mouth like this. And magic happened. I don't know.
Magic happened, yeah.
And then you play together? Were you, like, competitive with each other as kids?
But always, yeah,
Always,
yeah. Always. We like basketball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who's better?
What do you mean? Obviously, myself. Like, he decided to quit, you know. No, it was, I had a tiny basketball kind of like court in my house, you know, but you remember those tiny ones?
Like a
Nerf one, right?
Yeah, exactly. But we took it very seriously.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Like, we kept the scores for a year and everything. It was a real tournament happening, you know?
And then was Tu Mamá También the first movie you did together?
Yes.
Yes. That was how many years ago? 20-something years ago?
25.
25 almost, yeah.
Have you ever watched that? Have you gone back and looked at it and watched yourself as kids together?
Yes. I mean, I hide it from my kids, you know,
right,
because they're not old enough to watch it. But yeah, I have watched it, and...
Why are daddy and uncle in a threesome together? Yeah, that would be confusing.
Cinema back then.
It's not the first time Dad has had his finger in your mouth. Boy, it's really though crazy. You both grew up to become successful, famous actors. It is. I mean, the odds of that happening to one person are pretty long. But happened to the two of you, it's really amazing. And now you're doing this series.
That's true. And that we stay friends, you know.
And that you stay.
That we're not acting here pretending we like each other just because it's good for our careers.
This is a real relationship that you have.
It is real.
And you wouldn't be working together if you weren't friends either.
Well,
no. Well, I mean, they pay, no, when you work.
Yeah, I know, but
We wouldn't be here because you don't actually pay, but
no, very
part
little.
Of the work.
Very little. Yes. Whose idea was it to do this boxing show together?
it happened in the snow in Berlin at the Berlin Film Festival. We were walking, very hangover or drunk.
Drunk.
And a kind of a mix of, you know, like in that moment that you're like, I don't know. And so we were going out for a kebab, and we were a bit frustrated.
A kebab?
Yeah,
That's what you do in Berlin.
Yeah. Middle of the night, snow.
I mean, we released the film. We had a premiere that night, and it didn't go like fantastically.
Oh, it didn't.
Clearly, I mean, we ended up having kebabs in this.
Yeah, right.
So it was like it played well, but we were like, let's do something else because.
So we talked about let's do something about boxing. Let's do something. We always loved boxing. So a few elements came about that night. So it was the boxing. It was obvious who was going to play the boxer. Come on.
Was it obvious?
It was very obvious. Yes, it was very obvious.
Because this is not the first time that you guys have been in a boxing-themed production. as young men. In fact, I believe there's a television show on which you boxed one another, correct? Do you remember this?
Well,
If not, luckily have a clip.
what is this?
Con Alan.
No les voy a sacar de la. Oh, sí, sí, saco de la.
It looks like you may have been in a different weight class back then.
Yeah. That was incredible. Oh my God, Jimmy, that's really. We've never seen that, no? We're very surprised.
I have to say something.
Yes, go ahead.
That's not me. It's a guy that looked like me.
He
When I
looked
was a
like you,
kid.
huh?
I already had people looking like me in the business, like going like, oh, I should look like that guy. But that's not actually me. In fact, it's Gael getting ready for his role.
Exactly.
Did you guys box each other when you were kids like that? Was that something you would do for sport?
For very little time because it hurts. You
It
know?
hurts.
And-
Yeah.
That's why we are actors.
wake up-
Not like, yeah, we felt it for real once, and it was like, oh no, let's call it a tie.
Let's stick to the acting, yeah.
Exactly.
La Máquina is the machine.
Yes.
Yes, and that is fighter's name, the
That is the
nickname.
boxer's name, yeah.
Yeah.
Boxer's nickname, no?
Yeah.
And Diego plays my manager in the show, and those things were agreed right there. But one thing that I think when I got Diego's attention when I was pitching him like this frustration of let's do something about boxing, let's do something this and that, it was when I told him that maybe it would be good to have some prosthetics and maybe like something and maybe a big butt, no? And that's when he was interested in boxing. That's when he said, okay.
I play a manager that is not really happy with the way he looks and decides to start doing little things here and there, till he gets a gigantic ass.
Oh,
I mean, I have to say,
It's the pitch. It's the pitch of the show. Yeah.
that's the moment where we got the attention of the people. People with money were like, okay, let's talk about that project.
and you're like, yeah, and in it I will have a gigantic ass, and that's what
And
really
you know what?
sold
It feels great. It feels great. I wore it for like 6 months of production. It was fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
What's it made out of, your gigantic ass?
It's it is like a strong pillow, but it's nice to touch.
Yeah.
It's comfortable. It's
Did you
comfortable.
poke it at all? Did you?
Yeah, I run into it.
A little bit?
Quite a
Yeah.
lot, yeah.
Yeah. Well. Well, it's,
What? Yes, yeah. Diego, come on. We have to talk about these things here. Finally.
Well, for those who are interested in seeing a television show about boxing and gigantic ass, it's called La Máquina. It premieres a week from today on Hulu. Gael, García, Bernal, and Diego Luna, everybody. Thank you, fellas. We'll be back with Ben Platt and Brandy Clark.